Welcome to The Giver, an Independence Gardens program where we highlight change makers of today. And my name is Shawnee Ritchie, and I'm the founder of Independence Gardens. And I'm so very glad you're here with me today and excited to share the Giver stage with the newest pod show on the blog. I heard that's not a word, but it's a word today. Girls Save the World. Girls Save the World is the pod show where girl-led ideas shape the planet. And this is a great time to introduce my co-host, Shivi Kumar. Shivi was part of the group of amazing girls that recently participated in Girls Save the World 2025 and absolutely rocked EarthX this past April.
Thank you so much, Shawnee, and excited to be here and launching Girls Save the World. The podcast is a part of our biggest mission, where Girls Save the World, a Generation Green program, where Gen Z and Gen Alpha girls are building solutions for climate, food systems, and equity. We had such a great time participating and pitching ideas, innovative ideas at EarthX this year, and thankful that Independence Gardens is paving the way for Generation Green. And speaking of innovators, we have two in the studio today, two very bold women leading with purpose, visionary and real estate developer and sustainability advocate, Lucy Billingsley, and culinary educator and food justice champion, Chef Mollie Guerra.
So there are leaders who build companies, and then there are leaders who build community legacies and futures. And Lucy Billingsley does all of the above with vision, grit, and a bold splash of red. A powerhouse real estate developer and sustainability advocate before it was even trendy, Lucy has helped shape Dallas skyline, but more importantly, she shaped the conversation around courage, conviction, and what it truly means to lead with purpose. As a daughter of legendary developer Trammell Crow, she's never simply followed in footsteps. She's forged her own path. Building a career that proves impact isn't just about what you build, but why you build it. Her philosophy? Now is the time to be bold. And bold is exactly what we're celebrating today as we launch our podcast with episode 1, We Are Seeing Red. It's about being unapologetic, visible, grounded, and in Lucy's case, fearlessly rooted in purpose. Lucy, we are so thrilled to have you here, and welcome to Girls Save the World.
Well, it's thrilled to be here with all of you.
So first of all, this hard, fast journalism, right? Ready for your first question?
Hit it.
Okay. If you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh. It would be something I don't have.
Oh.
But it would, I think I'd be driven to say, how can I make my life more impactful for others? And the gift, the superpower for that probably would be to be able to understand other people's needs and the influence to have that ability, and then really to let the energy of the world flow through me so I can do it.
Okay, you have such energy for that.
Oh.
Right? That is such a bold answer.
It's such a bold answer.
No.
And so, go ahead.
So the word bold, what image or color comes into your head when you hear that word?
You know, maybe the answer is clear. Through clarity.
Clarity.
Then you see it all.
Okay.
These are interesting questions.
I know. I guess clear is a color.
Yes.
It is a color, right?
It is a color.
So why,
the absence of all colors,
It
maybe.
is the absence of all colors. And so we read some of your interviews, and the words bold, grit, courage really came on. And in Girls Save the World, we go to equip and empower these young girls to come up with solutions, climate action, climate change, food equity, and a lot. And so if one of the exercises that we did was Dear Future Self, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you were to tell your 13-year-old self, what would be the one advice you would give your 13-year-old self?
You know, it's the advice my father gave to me. And the advice is, it's all up to you. And that gives you all the responsibility, and it gives you total emancipation. So I think that's just fabulous. Then you can go carve out your life. It's up to you.
Because a lot of the girls that participate in the program are in this energy of I have to do it because somebody else told me to do it, or I have to do it because my parents told me to do it. So, and some of them are in the audience today. And so if you were to tell them, what would be the core values that you would absolutely impart to these girls as they kind of pave their own path forward?
I think it's important to respect your peers and respect your parents.
Okay.
And that's advice, and that's mostly it's from caring people. When you listen to it and you hear it, never violate your own integrity. So take it in, absorb it, but it's all up to you. This is your decision. Mm-hmm. And the last thing you ever want to do is violate yourself.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. That's great, you guys. That's fantastic.
And we earlier were talking about you being a grandmother. Half of your 8 grandchildren are girls. What advice would you want them to take with them to forge their own futures, to forge their own path, and really be change makers in the world that we live today?
Well, I think first you have to be a person of huge integrity, mm-hmm. and purpose.
Yes.
And we are so lucky here. My grandkids are lucky, but all of us are lucky here. So I think it's important to appreciate what we have and rise and make it better. Don't come in with anger. Don't mm-hmm. come in with having to fight. I mean, we all need to make our environment better. Mm-hmm. We've got issues. Let's go solve them. I want kind candor. I don't want brutal honesty. And how do we approach the world that way so that we are purposeful, we're direct, we're intentional, we're strategic, kindly?
So what would, so in the world that we're living now, I think kindness is missing. So much kindness is missing today. And so because a lot, and we were talking about this at the DFW media event that we had last week, and we say that a lot of kids, like 13, 14-year-olds, get their news from TikTok, right? And so whether or not it's real or not, that's where they get it from. But in a lot of cases, they don't have that kindness. So how do adults impart the value of kindness to kids that are seeing negativity every day? Like, what would be what would be an advice you would give your grandchildren?
Well, first we have to live it. Mm. We have to be the example, and you can have kindness in very difficult situations, mm-hmm. and so I think by being that model, mostly anyone around you gets that energy from you, and then have the discussions. You know, kids will make mistakes. You know, you want something in so much that you'll do something that you feel bad about later. And so it's helping to hold up that mirror and let the child see themselves and understand their goodness inside of that and how they slipped on themselves.
Mm. So I'm guessing that you spoil your grandkids, right?
Oh yeah, but I get to do that. That's a given. That's my role.
And so one of the questions that we have is, if one of your grandchildren said and gave you this big, bold idea that we all know is like, oh, I don't know if that's going to happen, what would be something that you would at least advise parents to how to communicate that with their kids? Like because I've heard a lot of parents say, well, you can't possibly do that. And so in a lot of cases, they may be saying it in jest, right? But the kids are internalizing that. And so, because what we found is that when kids understand, so even young women understand, specifically if we're going into STEM, which a lot of these girls are, there is this traction that they love STEM so much. But then when they get to a certain age, it's the whole world just kind of descends on them. So how would you address it with your grandchild that says, I am going to go to the moon and develop it with all of these things? And what would you say?
So let's start on saying how. Okay. You know, how do you break that into pieces? And what are the ingredients that are needed that you would have to do that? And are you going to be the one that gets to figure these things out? You know, so does that direct your life? And if it is, you know, start.
So do you feel like, because I'm hearing you're very strategic in the way that you think mm-hmm. about things too, and especially when you're developing something, you have mm-hmm. to be strategic, right? And so how do you feel like we should balance purpose and reality?
Well, they're united.
Okay.
I mean, purpose is immersed in reality. And so you might have to say, how do I manage through reality? But, I mean, if I'm anything, it's pragmatic. So then it's just saying, let's see how we get it done.
So was there ever a time where you almost talked yourself out of an idea?
Yeah, sure. In business, I've wanted a deal, a transaction, a negotiation. And I just wanted it so much. And my stomach was just churning. And I thought, I'm going to listen to my stomach, not my head. And I think it was very right. I think that I wanted something that would have been too precarious. And so, anyway, now I listen to my gut.
Yes. And we've known that your family's had a legacy attached to their name. What made you want to deviate from that and start your own project, start your own future?
Oh, it's so easy. I had 5 brothers. You don't want to be the one, you don't want to be a minority. So I just said, I want to make my mistakes. And I want to, what is a life experience anyway? I want to see who I can be. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. Especially when we're young. And so I'm just going to go try.
And I'm glad that you said it, because a lot of the girls and the students that we reach through our leadership program is afraid of making mistakes. They're just so afraid. And so what we teach them is failing forward is part of the journey, right? And so and as we're kind of looking at that and looking at the adults in the room that specifically here, what do you feel where do you feel Dallas is going to go as it relates to the future of sustainability, equity, or anything in that space, especially with the world that we're living in now?
Okay, I'm going to jump back and answer and make one comment on the other.
Yes.
I was motivated by fear for the first 40 years of my life.
Really?
And
Okay.
Can I succeed? Can I do this? Can I achieve? And then finally, about 40 in business, I thought, I think I can do this. Now what's going to motivate me? So I had to start all over and be motivated through purpose. So anyway, being motivated by fear, I think, is just fine. Okay.
No, actually, now we need to go back, because when you said that you were afraid at 40, some of us feel like life ends at 40 and like we can't move forward or change. And so that's really a great message to even bring to adults, especially women, or that feel like they can't move forward in the path that they're meant to be on, because they always have to be stuck here. That there is a possibility of moving past what you feel like, or at least moving towards your purpose a little bit more, right?
Oh yeah, I feel like first off, you have to reinvent yourself every 5, 6, 7 years. You have to say, I need to make myself anew. But anytime you've achieved something, now you've got a new platform. So now you've got a different springboard. So the opportunities change and your potential changes. So I think it's great. By the time you're 50, then you say, look, I'm not going to do anything that I'm doing for pathetic reasons. Like I'm just lending my name to something that I'm not engaged with. I'm going to drop a lot of things out of my life and be more purposeful. And then by the time you're 60, you're really saying, okay, kids, I am doing what I want to do. So it's life as it changes. It's just wonderful.
Okay, everybody, if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, life does not end at 40 or 50 or 60. So everybody, it's absolutely amazing and fantastic. So you get the last question, and then go ahead.
Yes, so our entire organization for Girls Save the World is equipping young women to be able to take forth in their future, change their community. What is your advice to expanding programs like this worldwide? And do you feel like every single girl in America should be part of a program like this?
The second question, it's got to be what do the girls want, right?
Yes.
So that's easy. As many people who could be a part of it, the world is better because of it. How do you expand it? I think my approach would be to say you expand through having great success. And success is acknowledged. And success has momentum. And people are attracted to it. It's magnetic. So as much as that you can have, then share it as you're doing. Share it with the world. Let people see where it is. And all of you that have gone through it, you become the ambassadors.
They are. And they are amazing ambassadors, you guys. If you don't know, they are creating solutions that is so mind-blowing that I was like, I don't even know half the things that Shivy talks about half the time. So, well, thank you, Lucy, for sharing your boldness and your story and your heart with us today. We're so honored to kick off this journey with you. And now, we're taking that energy to the kitchen with someone who's just as fearless with flavor, Chef Mollie Guerra, who's going to be joining us for a special Power in the Pan segment that reminds us that food is leadership too. So we are going to get cooking here shortly with Lucy. Because you know what? Bold leadership means fueling our bodies and our planet. And we're inviting her up to our stage today. So welcome back. We are here with Chef Mollie Guerra, one of our chefs in Independence Garden. She's amazing. And of course, redhead, since we're seeing red today. And so we're going to do a really quick dish and stuff like that because Lucy loves to cook.
I heard the stories.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I feel like I'm on an episode of Chopped again. We're going to get this out really quick, but this is a really fresh summer salad using a lot of summer produce that was grown locally in Texas. Summer tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers. We are mixing it in with some quinoa and chickpeas, and we're going to make a dressing that I'm going to have them get started on right now.
Perfect.
So this is going to be a, yes, I'm going to switch with you. I'm going to put you to work already.
Okay.
So this is going to be a citrus lime vinaigrette. It really lends to a lot of different flavors. You could do lime, orange, lemon, anything else with honey.
Okay.
So go ahead and squeeze these into there, and then we'll add equal parts oil to that once it's done. Would you like to cut? Would you like me to cut? I know
Avocados? No.
You know, we have seen lots of horror stories about avocados getting cut wrong. So
Yeah. Thank you.
and then we are going to go. I'm looking out for you, Lucy. That's all I need, the support. So this is also a salad that is super, super easy to play with. You can kind of mix in whatever veggies you have, whatever's in season at the time. Mm-hmm. And it requires a lot less heat in your kitchen because you can make the quinoa in a rice cooker. You can make it in your Instant Pot. You don't have to turn on your stove. And it is also super fueling for you because as everybody, and we are especially with Independence Gardens, food is fuel, and that is something very important to look out for.
So Chef Mollie has been our chef for our Come and Eat It program, where we had over 800 kids participate back in March. And
oh my gosh, yes,
I know it was
blast.
fantastic, right? She was in a cafeteria with 150 kids, and it was fantastic.
And, you know, typically I work with motorsports teams, so racing teams, race car drivers, and technicians. So it didn't feel all that different to me. And just like them too, you know, they are racing for 8-10 hours a day, working outside. We're all working outside for 10, 12, 20 hours a day. So it helps.
So what else? What can I help you with?
We can go ahead and start mixing everything into here.
Lucy can at least pour.
Yes.
Okay.
I can dump.
That you can dump. You can dump.
Careful for that knife right there.
Yeah, look at that.
And then we'll go ahead and dump everything in. Chickpeas can go in as well.
This is the best type of recipe where you can just like dump and go.
We'll probably go about half of those. That's perfect. That's perfect. Cucumbers as well. We'll dump those in.
Okay, right here.
And then same too, you can go as heavy or as light on any of these things as you like. And then once you get, that's about a good amount of.
That's good?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, cucumbers you can go a little bit. Sorry, I'm looking everywhere too. And then these tomatoes.
Okay.
I'm going to show y'all a trick too, because you don't want to have the, I'm going to steal that from you. Thank you. You don't want to have it too watery. I salted these beforehand.
Oh.
And then look at all of that tomato water that comes out. I mean,
Wow. Okay. Good to know.
so that helps make your salad not too liquidy on top of the dressing that we're making also.
Okay.
All right, now we'll go ahead and add some honey into that.
Perfect. That I can do for sure.
You can do. And then I'm going to reach over you.
Sorry.
Would you like to salt and pepper this for me, please? And this same.
And how much salt do you do?
Well, you know, that is up to your heart's desire. How salty do you All right, here. I'm heavy, so, you know, we go a little bit heavy on that. We like seasoning. And then pepper, if you give it a couple cracks of that. Here, we'll actually put the lid on it. So one of the easiest things, it's like a mason jar, basically, but easier. You're just going to put the lid on.
Okay, perfect.
And then shake it up.
Oh, even better. Oh my gosh, that's even better. I love that.
I will say I bought this bottle of olive oil purely for aesthetics and because it matched my nails. So, but it's good olive oil.
So for olive oil, can you just use like extra virgin or just regular olive oil?
This is extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin is definitely a little bit for flavor palette, a little bit nicer for a dressing. Regular, not extra virgin olive oil has a higher smoke point. Go ahead and shake.
Now I'm going to have her shake it.
Oh, perfect.
Just like that.
And
This is a great trick, actually.
And then we're gonna throw some cilantro in here. You could do green onions. You could do parsley. And then we're gonna shake this a little bit. We're gonna go a little bit hard with that. But I do appreciate you though. All right. And so this too, you can add mustard to it. You can add a little bit of fresh garlic to it. You can add your salt and pepper here or in the salad. And then we're just going to toss this up. And then that is when you adjust it. No! Yes.
I love that she does that all the time. Just like welcoming the energy of the universe. I love it so much.
And then I don't think y'all saw either. We also threw in a handful of microgreens. I do like to incorporate those whenever, just because it is the most nutrient dense, tiny version of whatever vegetable it came from.
What is a microgreen?
A microgreen is so this is a microgreen right here. Yeah. These are baby broccoli and radishes. And those are actually one of the easiest things to start growing in your house.
Yes,
it is so easiest thing. Same for sprouts. It's basically the vegetable before it's developed fully. So they harvest it when it's still just the stems, like the leaves of it. And then all the nutrients have kind of come in and packed into that. So it's so healthy for you.
So a lot of our schools are actually growing microgreens because it's the easiest to grow specifically.
Okay, now we'll give it a little taste.
We can taste it. It's perfect. It is a Chef Mollie recipe after all.
We love it.
I know. So we get to try it for sure. So we want really quickly. We want Lucy to try it really quickly, and everybody, because we're in the Oprah studio, will get to try it as well.
Thank you. I'm sorry I rushed through that, y'all, but
that's okay. And then, by the way, if you're watching this, we're going to have the recipe online, and that way you can recreate it at home. I love this, by the way. We may have to do this for Come and Eat It for next year specifically.
Oh, yes.
So, so we're going to a couple of things before we end. So,
You're
quickly.
welcome.
If you were, we asked Lucy this, if the word bold, what color comes up with the word bold? Ooh,
as
in your hair. Okay, perfect. And a girl-led world looks like what?
A very conscious one.
I love that. Lucy, a girl-led world looks like what?
I think one with great judgment and listening.
I love that, because we don't listen enough anymore. Thank you so much.
Oh, many men don't.
So, okay, you guys. All right, thank you, Lucy and Mollie, for being here today. And you guys, please go to @GirlSaveTheWorld and actually on Instagram and Independence Gardens, and tag us and tell us what your boldest ideas are. We will see you guys at EarthX 2026. We have so many things happening there. And on behalf of Independence Gardens, Girls Save the World, Mollie, Lucy Billingsley, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
See you soon. All right, bye.
Thank you.
It's great.
Thank you.